Hey there. So I had an idea that I would start reading this book aloud here on YouTube. This is Awareness Through Movement by Moshe Feldenkrais, who is, of course, the creator of the Feldenkrais Method, which I teach. But the Feldenkrais Method is, I think, frankly, not well understood in the world. And that's okay, but that should change. So this book, if you were to read it, and I definitely encourage you to buy it, you can find it a lot of places online, I'm sure. I prefer this cover to the other one with some legs on it. You'll see that one too, but I think just the idea here that you sort of get by looking at this cover, and the idea that I hope to get across is that Moshe Feldenkrais really, I think, could valuably be thought of as someone who should be included in the idea of the Western wisdom tradition. Now, I say that as someone who's not read a lot of philosophy, but what I can tell you is that this book clarified a lot for me about life. And so this is much more than a movement practice. In any case, I thought I would read from this book. I'm going to try and figure out, a good sized chunk to read at a time. But then as I go through it, I probably include some commentary as well. Anyway, so that's just what I'm doing, and I'm going to jump right into the first chapter right now. Okay, I should have said I'm going to read from the preface. I'm just going to read for you the preface from Awareness Through Movement Now. Listen carefully, it is full of a ton of gems. We act in accordance with our self-image. This self-image, which in turn governs our every act, is conditioned in varying degree by three factors: heritage, education, and self-education. The part that is inherited is the most immutable. The biological endowment of the individual, the form and capacity of his nervous system, his bone structure, muscles, tissue, glands, skin, senses, are all determined by his physical heritage long before he has any established identity. His self-image develops from his actions and reactions in the normal course of experience. Education determines one's language and establishes a pattern of concepts and reactions common to a specific society. These concepts and reactions will vary according to the environment into which a person is born. They are not characteristic of mankind as a species, but only of certain groups or individuals. Education largely determines the direction of our self-education, which is the most active element in our development and in more frequent use socially than elements of biological origin. Our self-education influences the manner in which external education is acquired, as well as the selection of the material to be learned and the rejection of that which we cannot assimilate. Education and self-education occur intermittently. In the first weeks of an infant's life, education is chiefly a matter of absorbing the environment, and self-education is almost non-existent. It consists only of refusal of or resistance to anything that is organically alien and unacceptable to the infant's inherited characteristics. Self-education progresses as the infant organism grows and becomes more stable. The child gradually develops individual characteristics. He begins to choose among objects and actions in accordance with his own nature. He no longer accepts everything that training tries to impose on him. Imposed education and individual propensities together set the trend for all our habitual behavior and actions. Of the three active factors in the establishment of our self-image, self-education alone is to some extent in our hands. Our physical inheritance comes to us unsolicited. Education is forced upon us, and even self-education is not entirely volitional in the early years. It is decided by the relative strength of inherited personality, individual characteristics, the effective working of the nervous system, and by the severity and persistence of educational influences. Heritage makes each one of us a unique individual in physical structure, appearance, and actions. Education makes each of us a member of some definite human society and seeks to make us as like every other member of that society as possible. Society dictates our mode of dress and thereby makes our appearance similar to that of others. By giving us a language, it makes us express ourselves in the same way as others. It instills patterns of behavior and values in us and sees to it that our self-education shall also operate so as to make us wish to become like everyone else. As a result, even self-education, which is the active force that makes for individuality and extends inherited difference into the realm of action, tends to a large extent to bring our behavior into line with that of others. The essential flaw in education as we know it today is that it is based on ancient and often primitive practices whose equalizing purpose was neither conscious nor clear. This flaw has its advantage since, having no defined purpose other than to mold individuals who will not be social misfits, education does not always succeed entirely in suppressing self-education. Nonetheless, even in the advanced countries, in which educational methods are constantly improving, there is increasing similarity of opinions, appearance, and ambitions. The development of mass communication and political aspirations to equality also contribute significantly to the present heightened blurring of identities. Modern knowledge and techniques in the field of education and psychology have already established Professor B.F. Skinner, the Harvard psychologist, to demonstrate methods for the production of individuals who are satisfied, capable, educated, happy, and creative. This is also, in effect, the aim of education, even though it is not expressly so stated. Skinner is certainly right about the effectiveness of these methods, and there is little doubt that in time, we shall be able to develop units in the form of man that are educated, organized, satisfied, and happy. If we use all our knowledge in the field of biological inheritance, we may even succeed in producing several types of such units to satisfy all the needs of society. This utopia, which has a feasible chance of happening in our lifetime, is the logical outcome of the present situation. In order to bring it about, we need only produce biological uniformity and employ suitable educational measures to prevent self-education. Many people feel that the community is more important than the individuals of which it is composed. A trend towards the improvement of the community is found in almost all advanced countries, the difference being only in the methods chosen to realize this goal. There seems to be general agreement that the most important thing is to improve the social processes of employment, production, and provision of equal opportunities for all. In every society, care is taken that the education of the younger generation should result in qualities making for as uniform a community as possible that will then function without any great disturbance. It may be that these tendencies of society agree with the evolutionary trend of the human species. If so, everyone should certainly direct his efforts towards the achievement of this aim. If, however, we for a moment disregard the concept of society and turn to man himself, we see that society is not merely the sum total of the people who constitute it. From the individual's point of view, it has a different meaning. It has import for him, first of all, as the field in which he must advance in order to be accepted as a valuable member. His value in his own eyes being influenced by his position in society. It is also important to him as a field in which he may exercise his individual qualities, develop and give expression to particular personal inclinations that are organic to his personality. Organic traits derive from his biological inheritance, and their expression is essential for the maximal functioning of the organism. As the trend to uniformity within our society creates innumerable conflicts with individual traits, adjustment to society can be solved either by the suppression of the individual's organic needs or by the individual's identification with the society's needs in a manner that does not appear to him to be imposed, which may go so far as to make the individual feel that he is debased whenever he fails to behave in accordance with society's values.